Now, how does one eat this? Because I'm not.
Nope.
We are back with week 40. We are now into October and things are getting a little bit heartier on the menu. Let's take a look at what we're going to be making today. Today we'll be having navy bean soup, croutons, stuffed sliced ham, sweet potato croquettes, a spinach mold, whole wheat biscuit, and we aren't doing the mustard onions today. I know, I'm very sorry. One of these days toward the end, I will end up doing most, if not all, of these pickling, canning kind of recipes. I know a lot of you are requesting it. We'll get there, just not yet. We also will be doing the infamous candle salad, gingerbread, and I'm extra excited. We are getting rid of the coffee this week and we are going with sweet cider. The last few years, we have tons of apple trees on our property and we have invited a bunch of friends over and done a whole apple cider day. So I have some apple cider from our farm that we did ourselves. So that's gonna be really exciting to try today. You guys have requested having somebody else on camera, somebody else to try some of these recipes out, specifically my sister. So I have talked her into it, maybe guilted her into it, threatened her into it. Hello. This is Tori's actual face. You've only seen this part of her from before. She's the one who helped make some of the pies in I think our second video, but she will be joining us on camera today to make all of these recipes and then try out some of it as well. So we are going to slap some aprons on, head into the kitchen. I realized yesterday after we finished eating that I forgot to shoot the introduction to everything because my sister and I were having so much fun. So we are filming again today. This is the next day since she's here so that she can try out the recipes for next week's video. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the introduction now and we'll use it for both of them. So if this is your first time joining, hello and welcome. My name is Ashley. I'm a registered dietitian and I also have an antique business. I'm combining those two things, food and vintage, to bring you this project. This is the 52 Sunday Dinners project. I found a cookbook from the 1920s and looking inside, there were so many really cool recipes. I decided I wanted to recreate them and I thought I couldn't keep it to myself, so I'm bringing you along with me. Looking over this recipe, I assume that what they meant was spinach, like the bigger leaves of spinach, not this baby spinach. I grabbed baby spinach without thinking, and I actually don't even know if our grocery stores would have regular spinach. They might. And some of our farmers markets, I'm sure definitely would, our local farmers. But this is what I have in front of me for now. So the way I'm going to adjust this is I'm just gonna cook it a little bit less than that 20 minutes. It called for cooking it for 20 minutes. I don't think this baby spinach would need as long as a regular hefty leaf of spinach, so we're just gonna adjust the cooking times a little. It's already pretty decently mushy. Okay, here are our options. We have a cute little bump pan looking one. We have this guy, and we have a star. What do you want to use, Tori?
The middle one is going to be too small.
Okay.
It's go with the star, and if there's leftover, use the bump.
Okay. Okay, we serve lamb. We will be serving lamb. There is a lot of butter in that. I don't know if you can see that shining and dripping. It's actually burning my fingers. Okay. Yeah. I have a feeling this is going to be a very greasy dish. We'll see. I assume that this is normal, but the foam on the top of this does not look appetizing. Hopefully that this is a normal separation. This biscuit dough seems very
Mushy.
yeah, like soggy cereal. Like if you had shredded wheat and then left it sit too long and this was at the bottom, that's what it looks like to me. Maybe this is what it's supposed to be. Let's roll it out and see. Recently, I came across a box that had this in it, How to Bake Better Biscuits from, I believe, Gold Medal. And it came with this biscuit cutter and this rolling pin. So we're going to use those today to make these biscuits, and maybe it will help us make better biscuits. All right, that kit came with these two sticks to measure the appropriate thickness. So we're gonna go with the more shallow thickness here. This doesn't seem right. Yeah, maybe this will turn out fine, but it certainly doesn't look right. Does that look right to you? They're not gonna hold together. For 3 cups, it seems like there should have been way more biscuit dough here too. Alright. I don't think they look that much different than when they went in. First impressions, they aren't the most beautiful. Let's, I guess, go ahead. I'll break it open, let you see. You can smell it. Imagine the smell.
It smells good. It tastes alright. Not much flavor.
Try with a little butter.
You're gonna stab me in the neck, but
Okay.
I think butter makes it worse.
Really? Butter makes it worse. Okay, I'll try it. Is this butter unsalted?
I think so.
Maybe that's why. I don't know. I really like the flavor. I really like the texture a lot. It's very, whole grainy.
I really like the texture, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for bread, I don't know. For me, I don't think it's too bland. I know a lot of the stuff that we've tried is very bland, but try it with a little butter here and I'll see. Yeah, I would agree with you actually on the butter. I didn't think that I would, but I think it's better without the butter. How is that possible?
I have no idea.
Never
Butter
had-
is your favorite food.
I know. Butter, I've never had anything that I'm remembering that I like better without butter, but
Say that 10 times fast.
better without butter? Better without butter, better without butter.
I can't believe it's better without butter. Somebody help me, please.
The slices of ham that I got are closer to maybe a 1/2 inch thick instead of 1.5 inches thick. So we're gonna maybe cut everything down to 1/3 of the original. This breadcrumb stuffing smells amazing.
Very different than mine, which obviously.
Right. I'd like to point out it says turn in sweet milk here. It has been argued multiple times that in other recipes where it said turn in, and I said I think you just pour it in. I don't think turn in is actually turning and mixing. Many people were upset that I wasn't mixing, and based on these food terms, turning in, it's not turning and mixing all this together. Turning in is pouring in. All the context clues that I've seen in the rest of the recipes, turning in is pouring in, not mixing in.
For this, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But for the American chop suey, like you broke your teeth.
Yes, that's correct. On the top, just on the top, not on the bottom. And I think on the American chop suey, I also put too much pasta in. I got, like, reading the recipes, reading those recipes is very overwhelming. And doing 6 to 8 of them in one day or 2 days is also extremely overwhelming. And keeping all of that straight is a little difficult. So with the American chop suey, what I think I did wrong looking back is it said to put in however many cups of cooked pasta. I put in that amount of cups to cook.
Okay.
So
yeah,
there probably was about double the amount of pasta.
if not 3 times.
Yeah, if not 3 times, which is why I think it was so dry on the top. I think that's where the problem lay.
Lies.
Did lie. Previously lied. For the sweet potatoes, I actually have some leftover sweet potatoes from one of our first recipes. I had them, I didn't want to waste them, but I knew I wouldn't eat them. So I put them in the freezer. So we just pulled those out. We don't have to do all of the paring and boiling. I'm just gonna heat some of them up now, and we're just gonna kind of skip a step, which is really helpful right now. I know in the 20s they probably wouldn't have had this option, but we do, and that's the option we're gonna take right now. Now, I did forget that our sweet potatoes were glazed already. I mean, I kind of forgot, I kind of knew, but I didn't add enough water in the pot while we were heating them up, and they burned a little bit. We thought it was the gingerbread burning, and we couldn't figure out where the burn smell was coming from. Then I remembered there were these sweet potatoes on the stove, and it was black inside. So we are actually going to skip over the sugar in this because they were already glazed with sugar from the last time, and I think we're just gonna get more of a caramel kind of smoky note in these. I think it's still gonna be delicious. It's just gonna have a little bit of a burnt sugar theme, which seems to be the theme of every single episode recently. If there's sugar in it, I somehow am managing to overcook or burn it. So let's just chalk it up to that, and we'll see how these turn out. Okay, so after mixing these up, and we actually added a few more sweet potatoes to this, we heated them up in the microwave because this is very soupy, and we thought maybe it could be because we cooked them in water a little bit. We weren't really sure why, but this does seem to be very, you can see it just moving around there. It is very soupy, so we're gonna do the best we can here.
No.
Can you see that? Just,
Do you want to mix in the flour?
it doesn't say to mix the flour in, so we're gonna try to not mix the flour in. I don't know if it'll work or not, but let's see. It smells phenomenal. It smells like Thanksgiving. Okay. doesn't look super promising, but it looks okay, and it's holding its shape. Let's see how these hold their shape when we flip them. Okay, they're holding their shape. Maybe this needs turned up a little though. Mush it down. No, I don't want to do that. Mush it? You think?
Just like press it a little bit.
Oh, okay. That's not too terrible. I'm wondering how this is going to go, turning this over halfway through with the toothpicks in it, so hopefully it goes okay. It does seem to be browning nicely. Oh boy. Oh, please, please, please. Okay. It's just stuck on the... Okay. It was stuck on the toothpicks. We're not halfway done yet with the beans, pushing them through this sieve here, and it's a major pain in the butt. The beans, we've been cooking them all day. And I think they cooked for about 8 hours, and they just aren't, we had to keep adding water to it. The beans, some of them are disintegrating, but a lot of them are still a little bit hard, and maybe my dried beans were not fresh enough, which I know sounds dumb. They weren't freshly dried. They've probably been there for a little while, so maybe that's why. Maybe it didn't absorb the liquid as well. We may have to throw in the towel eventually here if we want to eat the rest of this and have just maybe a little less bean meat in our navy bean soup. I don't know. What do you call the inside of a bean?
A bean?
Yeah, but the skins are on the outside. The flesh, bean flesh.
No.
It'll just be more bean broth. And actually, right now, the consistency with only about half the beans in is not bad. It's decently thick. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's decently thick. We'll still add the flour and the butter to it to thicken it up in case they wanted it much more thick. But I think it probably isn't hurting it to not have the rest of those beans in there. Do we think it will come out as a star? I don't know if you can see all the butter that's still all over that, but we'll try. Hot. Oh, look at that. Can you see the butter trail that got left behind here? Just from sliding that, there's just a trail of butter. 1, 2, 3. Can you see this? Look at how cute this towel is, by the way. Ooh! That is a spinach star slop. Doesn't look the worst. Kind of like the star shape. Well, that's currently what this looks like, and I don't recall if it says to take the toothpicks out, but we're going to go ahead and take them out of there so that we can eat this safely without dying. Okay, turn over the ham. Similar to turn in. It's time to test everything out, starting with the soup. And I think I may have mentioned before, I don't know if I did or not, the soup actually, it was a pain in the butt to get through the sieve. And we only got about half of it, and we were a little concerned it might not be thick enough, but calm down. You can see it's pretty darn thick. I think it's gonna be okay. But we're supposed to have this with our croutons, so you need to put croutons on yours.
Why?
Because it says to serve it with croutons.
I'm not gonna eat it though.
Why aren't you eating?
There's bacon in it.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Okay. Tori doesn't eat ham. or any pig products, and she eats local beef, but other than that, no beef. So no ham, no beef. So I'm going to try this soup and this soup and tell you what I think. I think this is the second time. I don't like cloves.
I love cloves.
You want to taste the soup?
No.
In a lot of things, I think clove is overpowering, and I don't tend to like it if I know clove is in there. And I was afraid I wouldn't like it with the clove in here. But you can immediately taste it, and it's actually quite pleasant. I would never put cloves and navy beans together in my brain, but...
Yeah, doesn't equate.
Let's try it with the crouton in there. You can't really see the crouton, but there's a crouton under this mess. You can taste the carrot a little bit. I think I could have done with a little more onion in here. I would have liked a little more, but overall, this is very hearty, very tasty. I really like this. If I were making this for myself, and I know this is what they did back then, this is 100 years ago, this is how they did it, that's great. If I were making it for myself again, I don't think I would take the beans out. I would just use it, or I wouldn't strain the beans or squish the beans. Tried it. I like it. It's great. Now we move on to the stuffed sliced ham, which again, you are not going to try. So all of you people waiting to get another perspective other than me putting all this food in my face, you're just gonna have to wait like one more second. I'm going to cut this open and hopefully you can see the stuffing inside. Let's test that out. Ooh, it smells phenomenal. I used dried minced onions. I had some that I had freeze-dried before. Ooh, yeah, that looks lovely. And the smell of those freeze-dried onions is very, very potent in the best way possible. Let's see how the ham turned out. Yeah, that breadcrumb stuffing smells lovely. Ham is not something that I would normally think of putting stuffing with, but I really like the combination here. It's very, very flavorful. There's nothing bland about this recipe here. It looks like a horrendous mess. It looks repulsive, and coming out of the oven it looked disgusting, but translated into flavor now while I'm eating it, it's lovely. Why do I keep saying lovely?
I don't know. Did you like it?
I'm thinking of other words in my head to say, and out of my mouth comes lovely. With the leftovers here, depending on how much of this got eaten, a lot of this could be thrown back together, like a ham and bean soup. If we didn't like the spinach could go back in to the soup. And I don't know about the sweet potatoes, but we'll try those next. But yeah, all of this could definitely go back into a soup and be eaten later too. This was 2 quarts of spinach, and it's baby spinach, so maybe regular spinach cooks up a little less small. But I don't know how that's supposed to serve 6 to 7 people unless it really doesn't taste very good, and so we're dividing this tiny bit into 6 or 7 people. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm real good at stuff.
Yeah. We're related.
It's a little more crispy than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did also use a lot of flour on the edges.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really good. Sweet potatoes are one of my favorite things.
Okay.
It's flavored nicely, but maybe that's the caramelizing from when we accidentally burned them.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
But no, they are really good. I like these.
Yeah, I think these are great.
I'm taking these home. She can't have any.
Yeah. She is getting all the leftovers. With these, I feel like you could eat them at any point in the day. Like you could wake up and make them as pancakes instead of croquettes.
That's what I was seeing them on the plate, and I was like, I kind of want to eat one in the morning with a little bit of maple syrup.
Yeah. And like the smelling them, when I smelled the sweet potato, I automatically wanted to add maple to it. I don't know if that's a personal bias or if that's something that a lot of people associate it with. But this could definitely be eaten at breakfast. It could be eaten dinner, lunch time. And really, depending on how you served it, you could eat this as dessert also. I feel like you could put a little bit of jam or something or whipped cream on top, maple syrup and whipped cream, and this could be a dessert. After eating that delicious, sweet, yummy sweet potato, we're going to the spinach mold, which, when I'm saying that, it sounds like I think this is going to be repulsive, disgusting, all those things. I like spinach. I don't know that I love spinach cooked on its own. I like it cooked in other things. I don't remember how I feel about spinach just cooked with butter on its own, but we are about to find out. No, don't drink that yet.
I'm so thirsty.
Okay, actually, you can drink it. Go ahead. Cheers.
This is delicious, though.
Oh, it's so good.
I think it's made more delicious to me because I put a lot of labor into this.
Yes, you did. We made this. I mean, we made all this, I guess, so what am I talking about? But
the cider is more labor intensive to make.
yeah. By the way,
tabletop?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see my tablecloth. I'll show you a shot of it later. It's freaking adorable, and I actually don't even know if it's a tablecloth. It's terry cloth, and it was labeled and sold to me as a tablecloth, or if it's just a very large towel. I'm not sure, but it's really cute. Want to cheers our spinach? Cheers.
Sure.
Yours looks like a chicken foot. Here's a little spinach chicken foot hanging down there.
It's boiled spinach.
Okay.
It's really all there is to say about it.
There's an aggressive amount of butter in there, and I really love butter, but I could do with a little less butter. I can taste the lemon juice in here very distinctly.
Oh, I can't.
Really? Okay. I can distinctly taste the lemon juice in here. I really like it. Something I'd like to point out, because I have been asked to give a little bit of a dietetics perspective with the spinach here. Adding the lemon juice. So I know that we cooked it, but lemon juice is very high in vitamin C. And although the heat would degrade it a little bit, your body, in order to get the iron that's in plant-based foods, so spinach is a high iron food, in order for your body to absorb that better, you need vitamin C. And so adding that lemon juice to this spinach would help our bodies absorb that iron a little bit better. Now, I don't know if iron deficiency was an issue back then, but if it was, it would definitely help the iron absorption there much better. No, mix them. Tell me what you think.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very much yes.
That's exactly how it was supposed to be eaten.
This is phenomenal.
Okay, tip at home. Don't make one of these without the other, because they complement each other so well.
Very, very well.
Like you and me.
You.
We didn't make our candle salads earlier because I was afraid it would fall over and not stay up for the appropriate amount of time that it needed to. So we're going to construct them now. So we need half of a banana. It says to put the pointed end in the hole.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it feels like it would fall over. And even...
Anyway.
Okay, mine is staying upright.
Mine is a little too curved.
Should we use
another...
I think your hole is too loose here. Maybe we should get another pineapple ring. Put a spoonful of thick mayonnaise on the top of the banana, letting it run down. This is to represent the candle wax.
Mm-hmm. Candle wax.
I know come on now, times were different in the 20s, and I get it. You tell me right now that your mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers were not making the same jokes. Like, if your grandma presented your grandpa with that, you tell me he's not going to make the joke. He's going to make the joke.
You can't convince me that this dish was not created for the joke.
Come on. Do you want the one with the mayonnaise?
No.
Okay.
I am the opposite. I love mayonnaise. I don't want this.
We are going to attempt to eat this candle salad. Very ladylike. All right, go for it.
I don't want to do this.
Did you put mayonnaise in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not very much. Do you
Do
want
it.
me to get more?
No.
Okay.
Just eat it. Not good?
No.
Is it the banana? Is it the pineapple?
It's the mayonnaise.
It's the mayonnaise? Okay. Banana, pineapple, and lettuce aren't bad. I cheated and didn't do the mayonnaise. They only needed one reaction. They know how I feel about mayonnaise. Yeah, actually the lettuce to me is stupid in that when you're plating it. Why would you put lettuce at the bottom? And what would the lettuce represent? But eating the lettuce with the pineapple and the banana wasn't bad at all. It was a nice little crunch in there.
Yeah.
Next is the gingerbread, which is so awesome looking. It's I expected a cookie, like gingerbread cookie. I was not expecting gingerbread cake. So, very soft, very nice. You don't eat gingerbread?
Lard.
Is there lard in here?
Yes.
Oh, mother duck. Why didn't you tell me that? I would have used butter instead.
While we were making this, I said there's like 2 or 3 things that I can eat in this menu.
Well, I didn't think you were talking about gingerbread. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm sorry to all of you at home who were looking forward to somebody else's stupid face eating this stuff and reacting to it. You got a little bit. Tomorrow. We're recording the following week's tomorrow, hopefully. We'll see how far we get into that. But hopefully the following week, you'll get to see her try more things.
I wish I didn't eat mayonnaise.
Let's try the gingerbread. It does smell lovely. And we had this conversation earlier. She thinks I'm psychotic.
Well,
okay.
For a lot of reasons.
What's that?
I can eat another biscuit while you're doing that.
Okay. Does anybody out there think that molasses smells like canned black olives? Not like a jar of Kalamata olives or anything like that. Canned black olives and olive juice. That's what molasses smells like to me.
No.
Okay. Anyhow.
You're incorrect.
I'm going to try this. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is great. It's nice and moist.
It looks really good, yeah.
Yeah.
I have made gingerbread before, and this looks perfect.
Mm-hmm. And we did it all in one day. So, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed having a special guest star, my sister Tori. Join us next week, which we will probably be filming tomorrow so that Tori can join us for that as well, and you get another perspective next week. And she should be able to eat most of the things there, including Lady Cab, a chiffonade salad, and suet pudding. Join us next week for that.
Convinced me that it was not.
Times were different, but not that different. It still looked the same back then as it does now. None of that has changed. And based on the 600 kids they had, it's not like they were unfamiliar.